Hello and welcome to class. We are starting today at the end of our mat with a neck stretch. So feet hip distance apart, shoulders down and back, and as you exhale, take the head over to one side, stretching down the side of the neck here. Inhale, take the head back to the center, and exhale over to the other side. Good, keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears. Bringing it back to the center. As you exhale, let's roll down through the spine one vertebrae at a time. So taking the hands towards the mat, eyes looking in between the legs, and you can bend through the knees more here if you need to. Really allow your body to hang over the legs here, feeling that nice stretch down the back of the body. Grabbing onto the elbows now with the hands, let's gently rock from side to side. And taking the hands back down onto the mat. As you exhale, bend through one knee slightly here, feeling that stretch down the opposite leg, and then swap to the other side, bending through the opposite knee. Bending through both legs now, walk your hands out into a plank so the wrists are right under the shoulders. Inhale, pike your hips up towards the ceiling, and exhale, returning to the plank. Just warming up the whole body here as you stretch back, and also getting the core engaged as you come into the plank. So it's an inhale to pike, hips up, and an exhale to plank. Good, and finishing off one last one here, coming down into your plank, and then carefully lowering the knees back down to the mat. Just shift the legs in slightly so the knees are right under the hips now. Wrists right under the shoulders. Let's go for a cat-cow stretch. So as you inhale, arching and opening through the chest, and as you exhale, scooping up, rounding through the spine. So really pressing into the hands as you round up and really opening through the chest as you arch through the back. Make sure that you're moving the head with the body and creating that full shape as you move from each position. If you want to hold one for a little bit longer here, you can. Just do whatever your body needs here to warm up. Good, and finishing off the one you're on, we're going into a hip flexor stretch next. So same position on the hands and knees, just take one leg out to the side. We'll start with the right leg. As you inhale, bend the elbows back towards you, and as you exhale, straighten the arms. So inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten. So you should feel a nice stretch into the hip flexor of the extended leg, maybe the inner thigh as well, and hamstring. From here, take same arm as leg. Inhale, open up towards the ceiling. And exhale, we're sliding the hand under the other, palm facing up, creating a stretch across our upper back and shoulders. Eyes looking towards the hand here. And one more time, inhale, open, eyes look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, fold, sliding that arm under, eyes looking towards the hand. And you can bend through the supporting arm here to increase the stretch and help you get closer to the mat. Good, and coming back. Let's swap sides. Let's go left leg now, out to the side, starting with our elbows bending towards us and straightening. So inhale, bend, and exhale, straighten, feeling that stretch into the hip flexor of the left leg. Good, just a couple more here. And then we're taking same arm as extended leg. So left arm up, inhale, eyes look up, Exhale, slide, eyes look towards the hand, threading that arm under the other and bending through the supporting arm. One more time. Inhale, open, eyes look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, slide, watching the hand as you take it under. Feel that nice stretch into the upper back and shoulders, as well as the hip flexor there. Good, and we'll bring it in, bring that leg in, and just make your way onto your back, carefully lowering yourself down. We're just going to activate the T-zone before we get into the exercises. So slowly lower yourself down, knees are bent, feet hip distance apart, and come into a neutral spine. So making sure you have that natural arch in the lower back, and then place your fingertips just a couple of centimeters inside your hip bones, pressing down firmly there. Visualize your T-zone in your mind. So the top of the T, running from hip bone to hip bone, represents the deep abdominals, and the bottom of the T, from the pubic bone up to meet that line, represents the pelvic floor. So have that visual in your mind, and as you inhale in through the nose, draw up along the vertical line, engaging through your pelvic floor. And as you exhale, imagine those hip bones sliding in towards the center and tightening under the fingertips. So we want to keep our T-zone tight and flat as we do the exercises. So press down firmly with the fingertips and feel for that activation. Have a couple of practices, breathing in through the nose to draw up along the pelvic floor, and exhaling out through the mouth to engage through your deep abdominals, tightening and flattening under the fingertips. Good, and let's relax the arms by our side for the first exercise. So we're warming up the abs today with bent knee fallout. So as you inhale, take one knee out to the side, and as you exhale, bring it back to the center, and we're alternating legs here. So we inhale, lower the knee out to the side, and exhale, bring it back to the center, and it's nice and controlled. Really focus on keeping the hip bones pointing up towards the ceiling. So only lower the leg as far as you can without the hips rocking from side to side. So we want the T-zone tight to keep stabilized here. Also focus on maintaining your neutral spine, so a nice natural arch in the lower back, and keeping the upper body nice and still, so just the legs are moving. Inhaling to lower and exhaling to bring it back. We've got one more here, so finish off one last one. And then we're going to take hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide, and keep getting into these abs with some ab curls. So as you exhale now, curling up, eyes looking forward, inhale to lower. So exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Really focus on keeping the elbows wide, scooping up into the abs as high as you can. Keep the chin tucked in and use your exhale breath. So inhale in through the nose to lower, exhale out through the mouth to lift. Just a couple more. And then we're going to make it a little bit harder now by taking the legs up to tabletop. So take those legs up into tabletop position, imprint your spine, so draw the belly button down and keep going here. Exhale, curl up, inhale, lower. Make sure you're squeezing your legs together so inner thighs are engaged, and really focus hard on not allowing the lower back to arch. So we want to draw the belly button down, have the spine imprinted to the mat. Good, just a couple more here, keep breathing. Good, and taking the arms by your side, move those legs so they're hip distance apart now in tabletop. We're moving into toe taps. So as you exhale, tap one toe down to the mat, and inhale, bring it back. And we're alternating sides. So it's an exhale to tap and an inhale to bring it back. Keep that spine imprinted. Good, and one more here. We're going to make it a little bit harder now. Take the hands behind the head and scoop up into an ab curl. Holding your ab curl, as you exhale and tap, we take same arm as leg and reach across the body. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, tap and reach. And inhale back to the center. So you should be moving the same arm as the moving leg and reaching across the leg that stays still. Good, so working into the obliques now a little bit more with this one. Keep lifted up off the mat, eyes looking forward. And finishing it off strong here. Last one. And then carefully lower the upper body down and take the arms out to the side, palms facing up. Squeeze your legs together. We're going into pendulum now. So as you inhale, lower the legs down to one side and exhale, bring them back to the center. So it's nice and controlled. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. Really make sure here you're only going as far as you can. Control and keep an imprinted spine. So even as one hip lifts up off the mat, we want to keep drawing the belly button down. Good, and keep focused on both shoulders on the mat at all times. Really squeeze your legs together here so inner thighs are working. Keep the knees in line as you lower and lift. Also use your breathing to help you. So inhale to lower and then use that exhale breath to help you lift the legs back to the center. Good, and just finishing off one last one here. And then hug those knees into the chest. Just take a moment. We're going into crisscross next. So more for the obliques. Take the hands behind the head, elbows wide, and legs to tabletop, hip distance apart now. As you exhale, curl up and rotate opposite shoulder to opposite knee and extend the other leg out long. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, curl up and rotate, extend the opposite leg, and inhale back to the center. So we're holding the ab curl here. Make sure that the elbows are nice and wide and you're imprinting your spine. So we only want to take the leg as low as you can without arching through the lower back. Good, just a couple more. And then we're going for 10 seconds of double time. So ready, let's go. 10 seconds on the clock. Double time with these legs. Keep rotating, elbows wide, just for 3, 2, 1, and bring it back to the center. Relax back down, hug those knees into the chest. Nice work. Good, make your way up onto your hands and knees. We're going to do a plank exercise next. So we'll be up in a plank position with the wrists right under the shoulders, feet hip distance apart. From here, we're bringing one leg at a time. Exhale, bring it across the body and then to the outside. So we're going across to the opposite elbow and then out to the same elbow, and we're alternating legs. If this is too much, you can just do across the body and take it back. Otherwise, focus on going elbow, elbow, and then back to the plank. Good. Keep the T-zone tight at the front. Really press into the hands and keeping the head long and in line with the body here. I know this one's tough, so deep breaths, just a couple more. Good, and relaxing the knees back down. Nice work, give those wrists a shake. We're going to finish off the abs section of this workout with a 45-second plank hold. So I'll just get my timer ready. We're going to be on the elbows to give our wrists a break. So coming down, the time starts now. And you have the option here, pop the knees down if you need to, make it easier, otherwise up on the toes. Good, we've got 30 seconds left on the clock. Really tighten through the T-zone. If you feel like your back is arching or your hips are piking up, just pop the knees down and keep that good form. We have 15 seconds on the clock. You've got this. Keep holding strong. Let's go last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And resting those knees back down. We're going to take a prayer stretch. So feet together, knees out wide, reaching forward with the arms. Just take a moment to breathe. Deep breaths here. Well done. Good, and then when you're ready, just slowly coming back up to sitting, we're going to make our way onto our backs for some glutes. So carefully lower yourself down onto your back, knees are bent and feet are hip distance apart. Okay, so arms by your side, we're warming up the glutes with pelvic curls. So make sure those knees and feet are hip distance apart. And then as you exhale, squeeze through the glutes and so slowly peel up off the mat one vertebrae at a time into a bridge position. Take a deep breath in at the top and then exhale to slowly come down one vertebrae at a time. So with these pelvic curls, we are really focusing on articulating through the spine and trying to peel up one vertebrae at a time, and also lower back down one vertebrae at a time. So make sure your T-zone is tight and you're using your core as well to help you control that lift and lower. Good, making sure as well that we are keeping the arms relaxed. So arms are nice and relaxed here. Really press the feet into the mat and squeeze through the glutes. We want the glutes to start warming up. So make sure you're focused on squeezing through the glutes. And we've just got a couple more here. So nice and controlled. Exhaling to lift. Deep breath in at the top and exhaling to lower one vertebrae at a time. Keeping those knees hip distance apart. Good, doing really well. Keep those knees hip distance apart as you lift and lower. Make sure they're not coming in towards each other or out away from each other. Keep those arms nice and relaxed, shoulders down and away from the ears. Just a couple more to go. You should be feeling the glutes start to warm up now. Exhaling to peel up one vertebrae at a time. Deep breath in at the top of your bridge and exhaling to come down one vertebrae at a time. And let's just go for one more here. Exhaling to come up, squeeze through the glutes. Let's hold the hips up in a bridge. Inhale, dip down halfway, and exhale, lift back to your bridge. So it's an inhale, dip, exhale, lift. We're only dropping halfway down and then really squeeze through the glutes straight back up into the bridge. Good, let's just go for two more. And then we're going to hold our bridge for 10 seconds and you have the option to take the arms up here to make it harder. Good, we've got 5 seconds left on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Take the arms down by your side and slowly lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Nice work. That's our glute warm up done. We're going to come onto our side for some clams now. So we're doing our clams today with the knees at a right angle. So there should be a right angle at the knees and a right angle at the hips, and then the body is out in one long line. As you exhale, squeeze and open the top knee and inhale to close. So we're keeping the feet together, exhaling to squeeze and open, and inhaling to close. We've just got a couple more to go here. Make sure you're squeezing the glute before you open the leg. And let's go last one here. And we're going to move into some lifts and lowers now. So exhale, squeeze and lift, and inhale, lower. As you lift the leg, we want to keep it parallel to the one underneath it, and we're just lifting to hip height or slightly higher, keeping the shin facing forward. Just a couple more, and on your next one up, we're going to hold it up at hip height and go for some small little pulses here, up and down. Really squeeze that top glute. Good, and closing the legs back together. For the next one, we're bringing the knees together as we inhale and the feet together as we exhale. Inhale, knees together, and exhale, feet together. Good, so this is really working into the rotation in our hip. Inhale, knees together, and exhale, feet together. Make sure you're squeezing your top glute, and we're keeping the body as still as possible, just that top leg is moving. Just a couple more here, keep breathing. And last one. And then take your knees back together. As you exhale, extend the leg back and in line with the body. Inhale, bring it back, knees together. Exhale, extend. And inhale, bring it back. Exhale, extend. Inhale, knees together. Good. Aiming to get that leg back and in line with the body here. Just a couple more. You've got this. I know it's starting to burn now. Deep breaths. Exhaling to extend. Inhaling to bring the knees together. And on your next one, let's hold that leg out at hip height. We're going for little circles. Circling from the hip here. And back the other way. Keep that knee nice and straight. Toes are pointed. Good. And to finish off, we're sweeping that leg out in front of the body, pointing the toes towards the mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Last one. I know this one burns. Deep breaths. Just a few more. And relaxing that leg back in. Give that top glute a bit of a massage. That was a tough little series. Let's even it out and do it all on the other side. So just making sure you have a right angle at the hips and at the knees here. Exhale, squeeze and open, starting off with just regular clams. So opening the top knee and inhale to close. Keep the feet together and keep the T-zone tight at the front. Exhale, squeeze and open, and inhale, close. And let's go last one here. And then we're straight into our lifts and lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. And inhale, lower. Really make sure that you are squeezing through the glute before you even lift the leg here. We want to make sure that our glutes are doing the work. Good. Lifting this leg up to hip height or slightly higher. Keeping it parallel to the one underneath. And on your next one, let's hold it up for little pulses. Good. Tiny little pulses. Squeeze that glute. And close. Next, we have our inhale, knees together. Exhale, toes together. So rotating from the hip here. Trying to keep the rest of the body as still as possible. Inhale, knees together. And exhale, feet together. Really squeeze through the glute. Just a couple more here. Deep breaths. Last one. And then take your knees together. Let's exhale, extend back in line with the body. Inhale, knees come together. Exhale, extend. Inhale, knees together. Good. Make sure you're really aiming that leg back and in line with the rest of your body, straightening through the knee and pointing through the toes. Just a couple more. You've got this. Deep breaths. And on the next one, we're holding out at hip height. Let's go into our circles. Little circles. Squeeze that top glute. And back the other way. Good. And then we've got our last exercise. Sweep that leg out in front. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Keep the legs straight. Point the toes towards the ground to tap. Really squeeze through your glute. Last one here. And then relax the legs together. Give that top glute a massage. Well done. Let's come up onto our hands and knees, feet together, knees out wide, and take another prayer stretch here. So reach those arms forward and just take a moment. That was a tough little series. Well done. Good. And whenever you're ready, slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. We're going to finish off today's workout with some upper body work, starting with a plank. So coming into a plank on your elbows, as you exhale, shift the body weight forward slightly, and then inhale, shift it back. So we're just using our toes here to press forward and back. Keep the hips low in one long line with the body. And let's go last one here. And then let's hold our plank for 10. 10 seconds on the clock, just holding it still. Last 3, 2, 1. Carefully lower the knees back down. We're going to come into some side plank work next. So coming onto one side, making sure that the elbow is right under the shoulder here, and the top leg is extended, the bottom leg is bent underneath you. What we're going to do is exhale, lift through the side of the waist and reach the top arm out in one long line, and inhale, lower back down. So you exhale, push on to the bottom knee as well as the elbow to lift through the side of the waist and reach. Make sure you're squeezing through the side of the waist and your T-zone is tight here. We want our abs on and working, and reaching that arm out in one long line. Good. Just a couple more. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. Let's go last one here. And then relax back down. Good. Taking the top hand on the hip now, we're going to lift up into that side plank, lift the top leg, lower the leg, and lower the body. So same position with the legs, and we're on one elbow. Just take that top hand on the hip, lift up into your side plank, squeeze the top glute, lift the leg, lower and lower. Really make sure your core is on here. This is a really tough exercise. And make sure you're squeezing through the top glute to lift the leg here. Good. Just a couple more. Deep breaths. Squeeze through the side of the waist. Abs are on. Good, and let's finish that one off there. We're going to finish off this side with a 30-second side plank hold now, reaching the arm overhead. So when you're ready, lift up onto your arm and reach over the head with the top arm. Squeeze through the side of the waist. 20 seconds left on the clock. T-zone is tight. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You've got this. Let's go. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and carefully lower back down. Nice work. We're going to even ourselves out and do this all on the other side. So make your way over to the other side. So just setting up, making sure your elbow is right underneath your shoulder. You've got the top leg straight and the bottom leg bent. We're starting with our lifts and lowers. So we exhale, squeeze and lift, and inhale, lower. Extending that top arm overhead nice and long. Really squeeze through your obliques. So squeeze through the sides of the waist as you lift up. Doing really well. Just a few more here. And let's just go for one more. And resting back down. Take that top hand on the top hip now. We lift the top leg, lower the body. So lift the body up, then the leg, lower the body. A bit of coordination here. Make sure your abs are on, so T-zone is tight. And that as you lift the leg, you're really squeezing through the top glute. I know this is a tough exercise. Keep holding strong, just a few more. Make sure that you're keeping the kneecap facing forward as you lift the leg, really pointing through the toes. Good. Let's finish off this side with our 30-second hold. So when you're ready, lifting up, reach that top arm over the head. We've got 30 seconds on the clock, and then we've finished this side. You can do it. Really squeeze through the side of the waist, T-zone tight. Deep breaths. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly rest back down. Nice work, guys. That was a tough little series. Just coming to a seated position now with the knees bent and feet hip distance apart. We're taking the arms behind us, so the wrists are underneath the shoulders and the fingertips are facing towards the feet. As you exhale, squeeze and lift into a bridge position on our hands, and inhale, lower. So it's an exhale, lift. Make sure you're really squeezing through the glutes as you lift up. You'll feel this work through the whole back of the body. So your back, your glutes, your shoulders. Just a couple more here. Use your breath to help you. Exhaling, squeeze and lift, pressing into the heels. And inhaling to lower. Let's go one more. And then we're going to move into some tricep dips. So now as you inhale, bend the elbows and exhale, lift. So to lower the body now, we're bending the elbows back behind us and exhaling to lift. Good, just a couple more. Keep those elbows bending directly backwards. Good, last one here. And lower back down. Let's lift back up for a 10-second hold, hips up high. This is your last little bit of work before we stretch it out. Squeeze through the glutes. You've got 3, 2, 1. Let's lower carefully back down. Nice work. Give those wrists a shake out if you need to. We're going to stretch it out. So reaching forward, let's carefully lower ourselves back down onto the mat. And hugging the knees into the chest. Just rocking from side to side here, massaging through the lower back. Good, and drawing small little circles with the knees. and back in the other direction. Good. From here, let's take the right foot over to the left knee. Open that knee out wide for a glute stretch. Pulling the legs in towards you, nice and gentle. Deep breaths here. Good, and then gently taking the left foot, so the underneath foot down to the mat, press that right knee away, and then from here take the arms out to the side and allow the legs to rock over to the left side of the body. You might not be able to get the right foot all the way to the floor here like I have, so you can just go as far as you feel comfortable and gently pressing the right leg away from you so you get that nice glute stretch here. Take the arms back to the side and bring the legs back to the center. Let's swap sides. So left foot over to the right knee now. Starting off just with our regular glute stretch, bringing those legs in towards the chest. Deep breaths here. Keep that left knee away. Good, and then lowering the right foot back down to the mat, gently press the left knee away from you. Take your arms out to the side and allow the legs to rock over to the right side of the body. Good, taking that left foot down towards the floor and then gently pressing the left knee away. If this is too much, you can just go back to the center and continue stretching in the center. Otherwise, really enjoy this nice stretch into the glute as well as across the spine with that rotation here. Good, take the arms back out to the side and gently bring the legs back to the center. Hug those knees into the chest. And then make your way up to sitting. Let's come into cross-legged here, arms by your side. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, reach one arm up and over to the sides, taking a side stretch. And then reaching that top arm around, circling around with the opposite arm and over to the other side, back to the center. Swapping directions, so start reaching over to the side, side stretch, and then circle forward and around over to the other side and back to the center. From here, we're going to walk our hands out in front, taking a forward bend over the legs, taking the head down, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And slowly walking the hands back up to sitting. That brings us to the end of today's workout. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.